Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the whimsical, wonderful, and sometimes surprising personal life of one of the most beloved authors of all time, Dr. Seuss. We all know the Cat in the Hat, the Grinch, and Horton, but who was the man behind the magic? Let's peel back the pages and explore the family tree and timeline of Theodore Seuss Geisel. Our story begins not in Hoville, but in Springfield, Massachusetts, where Theodore was born on March 2nd, 1904. His family tree has roots in Germany. His paternal grandparents, Theodore and Christina Geisel, were German immigrants who settled in Springfield and founded a successful brewery, the Kalmbach and Geisel Brewery, also known as the Kalmbach and Geisel Brewery by locals. This entrepreneurial spirit was passed down. Ted's father, Theodore Robert Geisel, was a man who loved animals. He eventually became the superintendent of Springfield's parks, which included the Forest Park Zoo. Young Ted spent countless hours there, sketching the animals with his own quirky, imaginative flair. You can almost see the beginnings of his fantastical creatures in those early drawings, right? His mother, Henrietta Seuss Geisel, was a huge influence. Her maiden name, Seuss, which is pronounced Seuss in German, would later become his famous pen name. Henrietta would often soothe her children to sleep by chanting rhymes she remembered from her childhood. This rhythmic, playful use of language planted a seed that would blossom into his signature writing style. Ted had one sibling, an older sister named Margareta, or Marnie, as she was known. They were close, sharing a typical sibling bond throughout their lives. Now, let's fast forward to his college years. Ted attended Dartmouth College, where he became the editor-in-chief of its humor magazine, the Jack-O-Lantern. It was here he first started using the pseudonym Seuss after he was caught having a little party in his room during Prohibition and was banned from extracurricular activities, including the magazine. To keep contributing, he just started signing his work Seuss. After Dartmouth, he headed to Oxford University in England with the intention of getting a doctorate in English literature. But academia wasn't really his calling. Instead, he found something, or rather someone much more interesting, a fellow American student named Helen Palmer. Helen was captivated by his doodles. She famously told him, "You're crazy to be a professor. What you really want to do is draw." She saw his true talent. He took her advice, left Oxford, and in 1927, Ted and Helen were married. They moved back to the United States and settled in New York City. Ted began his career as a cartoonist and illustrator, with his work appearing in major magazines. He also landed a lucrative advertising job with Standard Oil for their bug spray, Flit. His catchphrase, "Quick Henry, the Flit," became a national sensation. This steady income gave him the freedom to work on his first children's book. After 27 rejections, yes, you heard that right, 27, his first book. And to think that I Fought on Mulberry Street was finally published in 1937. The story goes that he was about to burn the manuscript when he bumped into an old Dartmouth friend who had just become a children's book editor. Talk about a lucky break. The Seuss Empire was born. But as his professional life soared, his personal life faced challenges. Ted and Helen never had children of their own. When people would ask him why, he'd often joke, "You have 'em. I'll amuse them." Despite this, his book showed an incredible understanding of a child's imagination. During World War II, Dr. Seuss put his children's books on hold and threw his energy into the war effort. He served in the Army and became the commander of the animation department of the 1st Motion Picture Unit. He created animated training films for soldiers and powerful political cartoons that supported the Allied cause. After the war, he and Helen moved to La Jolla, California, to a beautiful home overlooking the Pacific Ocean. This is where he would write most of his famous books. His studio, with its panoramic view, became the birthplace of classics like The Cat in the Hat, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Green Eggs and Ham. The Cat in the Hat was a game changer. It was written in response to a report about illiteracy among school children, using only 236 different words that were easy for young readers to learn. It was a massive success and revolutionized the way children learned to read. Throughout these years, Helen was his constant partner. She was his editor, his business manager, and his biggest supporter. However, her health began to decline significantly over a long period. Sadly, Helen passed away in 1967. Ted was devastated by the loss of his partner of 40 years. Life, however, had another chapter in store for him. About a year later, in 1968, Ted married an old friend, Audrey Stone Diamond. Audrey was a film producer and a great admirer of his work. She brought new energy into his life and became a fierce protector of his legacy. She encouraged him to tackle more complex themes in his later books, like environmentalism in The Lorax and The Arms Race in The Butter Battle Book. Ted and Audrey remained together, living in their Loyola home until his death. Dr. Seuss, the man who taught millions of children to read and to dream, passed away on September 24, 1991. At the age of 87. He left behind no direct descendants, no children of his own, but in a way, we are all his children. His legacy lives on through the dozens of books that continue to spark imagination and joy in readers of all ages, all over the world. After his death, Audrey Geisel founded Dr. Seuss Enterprises to manage his literary estate and protect the integrity of his characters. She was instrumental in bringing his work to new generations through films, musicals like Seussical, and even the publication of posthumous books like What Pet Should I Get?, which was created from sketches and notes he left behind. Audrey passed away in 2018, having ensured that the magic of Dr. Seuss would continue for a long, long time. So there you have it. The family tree isn't vast, but the personal story of Theodor Seuss Geisel is rich with creativity, perseverance, love, and loss. From a boy sketching zoo animals in Springfield to a global icon, his life was as colorful and fascinating as the worlds he created. He wasn't just a writer of nonsense. He was a keen observer of human nature, a social commentator, and a true original. What's your favorite Dr. Seuss book? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear which one holds a special place in your heart. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of your favorite creators. See you next time.